Fabby! Sam! It's good that Fabby's here. I was gonna tell the story you told to me to anyone who wanted to listen. I actually told the story on Facebook Live before the gym, and now I'm leaving the gym, and I wanted to tell that story to anyone else who wanted to hear it because it's an unbelievably cool story, and the shit made me cry. And you know, I'm not ashamed to say when I cry. I'm not one of them tough guys, you know. So, you know, and the reason the story is important is, mostly why it's important to me, is because it lets me know, like, that the reason I'm doing what I'm doing is truly, like, genuine and coming from a real place. Because I've gotten, I'm sorry for the shaky cam shit, but I've gotten recognition from, like, you know, people way ahead of me in fitness and motivation, and that stuff makes me feel good. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's always great to be recognized by people you look up to, but those things never really, like, hit my soul. Like, they never made me cry or have an emotional moment or anything like that. So when these things happen where they really hit my soul, it lets me know, like, it just affirms for me that I am doing what I'm doing for the right reasons. Because honestly, like, if I was only trying to get attention or recognition, like, I already got that. And, like, you know, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, that's cool and everything, but, like, I like to know that what I'm doing is, like, truly transforming people. And, you know, that being said, Fabby, the story you told me today really did that for me, because, and I apologize for being all stuttery and weird. I just got out of the gym and I'm a little depleted. But, you know, a few weeks ago, I got a message from somebody on Twitter who told me that they were sending my videos to their friend who was in the hospital who has cystic fibrosis. And, like, now that guy is, like, really, like, motivated and trying to, like, and really, like, fighting, right, because of me. And when I heard that, like, I was driving when I read the message, which is really bad, but I actually burst out into tears and pulled over to the side of the road. And there's another time where a girl who's been following me for a long time told me her 13-year-old daughter, who is being bullied, looks up to me now and feels like she isn't alone. So, and you know, I had somebody tell me they're quitting alcohol because of me, and like, change, you know, for me, or not for me, because of me, and realize that their family needed them because I was, like, kind of jamming it into his head. But anyway, I know this is all kind of, like, you know, beating around the bush, but I just wanted to tell you guys, like, these things, they matter to me more than anything, because I went through a lot of shit, especially as a little kid. But then I went through a lot in the last few years as well, and it's like, all these things that happen, and I just keep staying consistent. I keep trying, I keep pushing what I'm doing, and when these things happen, like today, or the stories I just told you, or this, you know, like the story Fabby told me that I'm about to tell you, if I ever shut up, it's just like, it lets me know that all the pain and all the bad days aren't for nothing, and as long as I keep on staying consistent, these things will happen more and more. And truthfully, like, I couldn't ask for anything better out of my life to know that I actually helped, like, transform somebody for the better. So that being said, Fabby tells me a story about how she lost my book 2 weeks ago, and she was at the doctor, and Fabby, you said you lost you left the book outside and forgot, and then you were, like, halfway in, and you forgot the book outside, and when you came back outside, the book was gone. And you didn't want to tell me about it because you were afraid it might hurt my feelings that you lost it, which it wouldn't have. I would have just sent you one because you already paid for it, so I would have felt bad. Because shit happens, you know, you just forgot it. It's a book. It's not like it's your wallet, you know what I mean? Like, it's a book, and I know you love it a lot, but you just misplaced it. No big deal. I wouldn't have been mad. I'm a sensitive ass, but I ain't that sensitive. But anyway, so you said you had went through a week without it, and then somebody calls you out of the blue saying they want to meet you somewhere because they had something to give you, and you end up meeting up with this guy who has your book, and he found your name because you left your bookmark in with your name and address in the book. So this guy, who thankfully didn't come to your house to give you the book, but you said your name and your phone number. I apologize, not your address. Your name and your phone number, right? But so the guy who brings Fabby brought you the book. I don't know if you're still in here, but the guy who brings you the book tells you that he read the entire book, and the book is the reason he quit chewing tobacco, that he's going to quit drinking, and that he relates to all this other stuff in the book. And the thing that trips me out the most about it is he's telling Fabby this while crying. Like a man who's never met you in your life is crying to you after stealing your book on top of it. Like he stole your book, returns it to you, and tells you that the book, and you know, I mean, Fabby, you told me how much the book is connected to you, but like, this is, it's just like a really just, I don't know, you know, anytime anybody tells me that my book legit, like, connects to them on a deep, like, emotional level, I get moved a lot, you know, but like, these kind of stories go a little bit beyond that. And it made me cry. Like and you know, y'all crying, and then you're telling me this story, and then I cry, everybody's fucking crying. There's no crying. But I mean, believe it or not, guys, like, I hear this story and this guy crying, and then, you know, you guys end up, you know, I don't know if you guys have talked since then, but it's just crazy to me, like, because I went through so much as a kid, and just being bullied, and you know, the sexual abuse stuff, and then all the losses and heartbreak and just so much stuff. And I truly, sometimes I'm gonna get fucking emotional now. Like, one of the things I always wish is that, like, I could go back in time and, like, talk to my younger self and just tell him, like, all this shit all this stuff you feel, like, someday is going to help people. And I know how much it sucks, but, like, someday it's gonna help people. Like, I wish I could just tell him that, because I think if I could tell him that, I mean, I don't know if that would change anything, because honestly, that's like the Back to the Future shit. Like, if you change one thing, you might fuck up everything else. But I think it would have made it a little bit easier to bear, like, the pain, knowing that, like, someday I would find a way to use it to help people. And, but yeah, I mean, and truthfully, especially with the last couple years of my life, with my dad dying and my cousin dying and other stuff I can't talk about, but, like, you know, things I've gone through with family members and, you know, friends and drama, ups, downs, injuries, gaining some of the weight back, and I just would not stop. Like, I believe in what I do so much that all this stuff was happening. And honest to God, it was like the more shit that happened, the more mad I became. Because I started developing this attitude where it was like life, like, fuck you, you're not gonna beat me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna fucking beat me. I don't give a shit what you do. I don't give a fuck what you throw at me. You're not gonna beat me. You're not gonna stop me. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't give a shit. You know, the only way you stop me is kill me. That's it. I gotta die. That's the only way. And I developed this angry, kind of feisty attitude, and I feel like it helped me stay consistent, and it helped me get through everything. It helped me keep doing these videos, keep doing the comic, keep doing blogs, blah, blah, blah. What's up, Miss Marvel? And the only reason I'm saying all that is because if it wasn't for that, and if it wasn't for staying consistent, if it wasn't for the attitude that I was just like, fight, 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 I don't care, I'm gonna keep fighting, none of these things that have happened lately would be happening. I wouldn't hear a story about a guy quitting drinking because of me. I wouldn't hear a story about a little girl who's being bullied and feels like she's not alone now because of me. I wouldn't hear a story about a guy with cystic fibrosis. Fucking cystic fibrosis. I mean, getting through it easier because of me. You know, and then this story about this guy who Fabi met that, like, legitimately his life is changed forever now because he stole a fucking book. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, he did something bad and, like, it turned out good. And I don't know, man. Like, it's just fucking nuts to me. And it just furthermore shows me the point that, like, you have to, no matter what happens. Like, I don't know what the fuck your guys' dreams are. I have no idea what they are. They might not all be fitness related or, you know, change the world type of stuff. But, like, whatever they are, life is going to, like, legit fuck with you on the way. Like, life's gonna fuck with you. Life's gonna put you on your ass. Life's gonna see how fucking strong you really are. And, like, if every single time life punches you, you fucking revert back to your weaknesses, you will never, never see what you're trying to see. Like, what you really want out of your life, your soul's purpose, your sole purpose and your soul's purpose. You will never see that shit come to fruition if every time life smacks you, you fucking cower and you retreat and you curl into a ball and you fucking cry. Like, and I'm not saying you can't cry, but cry while you're on the treadmill. Cry while you're writing your book. Cry while you're playing your instrument. Don't fucking cry and do nothing. Like, I'm not saying not to feel pain. I'm gonna tell you until I'm blue in the face, like, you're gonna feel pain. But the thing is like, are you gonna use it? Is it gonna push you? Are you gonna use that energy to make you do good things? Or are you just gonna, like, revert right back to your little weaknesses every single time something bad happens? Is that what you're gonna do? Like, and that's what I used to do, which is why I almost died. All right? Like, I used to do that. I used to fucking chain smoke and drink my pain away and eat my pain away and fucking, you know, do everything I could think of short of doing hardcore drugs. I never really got into that, but, like, you know, everything I could think of to take the pain away that was counterproductive, I did it. And nothing worked except what I do now. Like, this shit makes me feel like fucking Superman. That stuff didn't make me feel this way. It didn't make me feel like invincible. That shit made me feel worse every time. It made me feel worse every time because it made me feel weak. It made me feel like, man, every time something bad happens, I go to Burger King. Every time something bad happens, I smoke a cigarette. Like, I'm not strong. You know, I didn't feel strong. And I had to learn through almost dying that consistency and efforts are the trump card in the game of life, man. Consistency and effort are the trump card in this fucking card game we're all playing. And we're all looking for that big secret, and that's it. It's just consistency and effort. Like, and you know, and I'm seeing now the fruits of that consistency because I'm seeing fucking these stories, just these stories coming to me that are legitimately making me fucking cry, but, like, in a good way, like, hitting my soul to know that, like, someone's entire life is changed because of some shit I did or said or wrote or whatever, right? And I'm not doing this video. I mean, obviously, you know, the bottom line is, guys, like, I'm not bragging and any of that type of shit. I like sharing these stories with y'all because I feel like you're on this journey with me. Like, I'm not Tony Robbins, you know what I'm saying? Like, that dude's already successful in terms of, like, notoriety and monetary. Like, he's already fucking mad successful. I feel like y'all are basically, we're in this car together. You know what I'm saying? Like, metaphorically, we're all in the car together. Like, y'all are going to the gym with me. Y'all go to conventions with me. You guys are like, for me, you're riding with me on this journey to where I'm hoping it's going to take all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I share these stories with you guys, because I want you to be, like, go through it with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to have that the feeling of, like, man, this guy that I support is changing people's lives, and I want you to feel it with me because you are with me, and without you, this doesn't even exist. You know what I'm saying? Like, if without y'all, I'm talking to myself. And granted, I do that a lot too, but, like, you know, I mean, without these stories and people hitting me up and telling me, like, you know, all this shit that happened to me, all of it, all the shit that happened to me is just, you know, it became, I don't know, it's crazy, man. Like, I don't know, like, I remember this thing Eric Thomas said, you know, without, and it's been said before, but like, without darkness, there's no light, right? But he also said there's beauty in your death. Like, there's beauty in the pain. There's beauty in the struggle, because without that, you don't develop the strength. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's like beauty in not physical death, but there's beauty in dying and coming back. There's beauty in the death of your weakness and the death of your doubts and the death of your fear. There's beauty in that death. There's beauty in this pain, because without this pain, you can't experience the true nature of how strong you really are, the true extent. When you decide that you're not going to let the pain stop you, not that you're not going to act like the pain doesn't exist. The pain exists. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, reincarnation of self. Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's just there's this beautiful struggle. You know, there's a beauty in this struggle. There's the beauty in this, in the journey to get to this thing. And the beauty keeps coming at me. Like, the beauty of what I'm doing keeps coming at me, man. Like, the beauty of like, you know, I talk about being bullied. I talk about being abused. I talk about these things. And then the beauty returns to me, because there was a pain in that suffering. But the beauty is that the beauty is that, like, somebody else doesn't feel alone. Somebody feels stronger because of my pain. And that, to me, is so much more important than recognition, so much more important than money, so much more important than accolades, than anything that ever can come of it. And I know that it's more important than that, because I feel it, like, inside. I feel it. I feel it inside, man. And it's like, I don't feel that when somebody above me recognizes me. I feel excited. I'm definitely like, hell yeah, man. Like, bam, this guy said I'm the shit, or this guy likes what I do. I feel good, and it's nice to get that validation, in a sense, from somebody more ahead of you, but it's great to get that validation from people that you respect. But at the same time, I don't cry from that. Like, I don't fucking cry from that. I don't get that soul fucking strike. I don't get it from that. I get it from these stories, because, like I said, number one, it just lets me know that what I'm doing it matters. Like, it really matters, beyond just people being like, oh man, you inspire me. Hey Fabby, what's up? You're back. It matters beyond that, like, because I feel like the word inspiration gets kind of thrown around a lot, right? We're always like, oh, this guy inspires me, this guy motivates me. It's like, that shit's badass, don't get me wrong. But I think it's said so much that I don't want to say it doesn't have as much meaning, but there's something different about being told, oh, Bratty Batman, what's up? You're new around here. So, on what you just said, it's funny you say that. There's a chapter in my book about Batman, why he was my favorite character, and what you just said is what I realized when I was 9 years old. After my grandfather died, the first time I ever saw the movie Batman was the night of his funeral. And I was 9 years old. And I swear to God, this is true. This is in my book, because everybody knew I loved Batman, so I wanted to tell everybody why, right? When my grandfather died, I swear to God, I remember this memory like it was yesterday, and I was 9 years old. I was watching at my cousin Bernie's house. I slept by his house that night, and they had the box TV. Remember the box, the tube TV? I was sitting in front of it on the carpet, and I was watching Batman, and I had never been exposed to Batman before, okay? Never. I had never been exposed to Batman, and I'm watching this movie, and throughout the movie, you know, when you finally learn, and then we're talking about the Michael Keaton Batman, 1989. Well, it was 1991, but when I watched it, but So I watched this movie, and finally when it's revealed that, oh, Batman's parents were murdered, that's why he does what he does, right? And I'm hurting because my grandfather just died. And I'm a kid who was being sexually abused by 4 different people at the time. 4 different fucking people. Not at the same time. Not one of them knew what the other was doing. It was 4 different places, 4 different people that were sexually abusing me. Add to that my dad is never home because he's working all the damn time, and he really wasn't. I love my father to death and I miss him every day, but he really wasn't like Danny Tanner. He wasn't that dad, he was very kind of just stern and shit, right? So I was, that's going on, and then I'm getting bullied at school, getting beat up, picked on, chased home. So my grandfather, my mother's father, ends up becoming like my best friend. He's my only friend in the world, right? And my mom would leave me with him all the time to get to babysitting and as well. What's up, Mark? You were as well. I'm guessing you're talking about the abuse thing, and I'm sorry that you can relate to me. Yo, what's up, man? How are you, Link? Long time no talk, bro. And thank you. So Batman, I'm watching this, and I see this, and I start crying because my grandfather died when I was 9, and all this other shit's going on, right? And he was my only friend in the world, and I felt like my only friend had been taken from me. And, oh, Stacy, thank you. You're freaking awesome. Make sure you take a picture with it, please, please. Stuff's good for promos. I'm a promo whore, I'm sorry. So, and really, honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it. So Batman, my grandfather, and he dies of Alzheimer's disease, okay? So for a year straight, I am watching, oh, I'm sorry, Mommy. I'm really sorry. I hate, it's bittersweet for me because I share the stories that I share because I want people to know they're not alone. So when I find out people can relate, I feel good, but I feel bad because it's like, I'm glad we're not alone and we can relate to each other, but at the same time, I hate the fact that you know the pain I feel, if that makes sense. So, Bratty Batman, I agree 1000% with what you just said, and I believe it's a big part of why I'm the way I am too. So, my grandfather gets Alzheimer's disease, and within about a year and a half, he dies. But I watched this man die in front of me for a year. He's like my whole world, and he's fucking falling apart in front of me, okay? So, he dies, and I see Batman, and I just remember thinking in my head, I'm crying, and I'm thinking, and I am 9 years old, and my mom, she always said you were really smart for a kid, right? I'm 9 years old, and I'm watching this, and I'm thinking, I want to be like him when I grow up. Not a superhero. I want to make sure nobody feels what I feel ever again. Like, I want to like, whatever I'm feeling right now, I want to use it to help people like Batman does, right? And I'm 9 years old thinking this. Now, along the way, obviously, I made a lot of mistakes. I grew up, I was friend zoned 8,000 fucking times because I was the nice guy, and that added to my depression and anxiety. My father and I's relationship was very tumultuous for a long time. I was dealing with the shame of being sexually abused. I was dealing with the shame of being bullied. And then I wanted attention so bad, and I wasn't getting it, and I started, as I got into my 20s, became a straight up chain smoker, almost alcoholic, because I was drinking 5 times a week, binge drinking, getting fucked up beyond recognition, partying, chasing chicks, all that stuff, and I did that for a good, a long time, years. And that led to my obesity being so big, and then I almost died as a result of it, right? We all make mistakes. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, absolutely, Link. Thank you, man. So, you know, with all that being said, I didn't expect to get into all that today, but you guys are always freaking late. You popped in like 20 minutes after the whole reason I started the video, but that's okay. I'm happy. I'm so happy that all you guys are here because it's great to talk about this stuff. It really is, because I know so many of y'all can relate and you feel this, and truth be told, man, it helps me too, because I always said about Batman, I always said this about Batman and Daredevil, who's my other hero. Their motives seem altruistic, right? They're this heroic figure and they go out and they help people. But at the end of the day, it's selfish too. It's therapy. It helps them to deal with the demons inside, knowing that they're doing something about it, that they're not letting all that pain be for nothing. And I relate to that on so many levels. I feel like as much as I can do this motivational thing, as much as I do the speaking, the writing, everything I do, right? At the base of it all, besides the desire to want to help people, you know, be better, that's it. Like, I don't, you know, whatever you want to do, you want to become a surfer, you want to become a goat herder, you want to lose weight, quit addiction, I don't care what it is. If I can help you do that, fantastic. I don't care what your dream is. I just know that I almost died because I fought who I really am inside for such a long time. I fought this version of Mario for a long time. I didn't want to be this version because I knew how much effort it was going to take. And it just, you know, it was scary. So, yes, I said goat herder. We learn from our mistakes, which make us better person. They're They're fighting their dark side. Yeah, absolutely. And I did say goat herder. But they are fighting their dark side, and I fight my dark side every single day. Every day I'm still fighting the desire to want to do the wrong thing. And that's just momentary release, because it just feels good for the moment to eat something bad or smoke a cigarette or get drunk as hell or all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like that's you know, saving lives is great, but I feel like that's what makes these make these characters heroic, is that they do their best in spite of their darkness. You know, need to get back to writing my paper. Good luck. No problem. Thank you for popping in. I'm glad to have a new friend and a new Bat fan. I love the Batman fans. But thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Thanks, Link. I appreciate that, bro. We'll talk soon, man. So yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about this story Fabby told me today, and it just kind of translated into all this, but this video was great. I had to hold back my emotions this whole time, because I am feeling quite emotional at the moment, because this is an emotional topic to me. All of it is. And I use it so much to push me that I rarely kind of just sit and think about it, you know? But the stuff Fabby told me today, it's like I said, you know, we talk about this word inspire so much. We see it thrown around like crazy. You inspire me. You inspire me. Not just for me, for everybody. You inspire me. And I think it's great. I think it's great that people find inspiration in so many places. I think the more you can find, the better. But when I hear these stories about legitimately transforming somebody's entire life, like they read my book or watched a video and their whole life improved because of it, that to me is something to me that goes beyond inspiration. Like it's another level that, you know, I aspire to reach with as many people as possible. And that shit hits my soul, man. It really does. So thank you, Fabby, for telling me that story. And thank you to all of you who watched this video today. Thank you for popping in. I am going to actually save this one and repost it on YouTube. So if any of you don't follow my YouTube channel, click the link in my bio, press subscribe. There's about 3 years worth of videos on there. The first ones kind of suck, but they get better as I get older. But I have been putting the Instagram live sessions on there too, the good ones anyway. And this is a good one. So if you want to see the thing in its entirety, because some of you missed the beginning, the story of that Fabby told me, go subscribe to my channel and all that good stuff, all right? We'll talk later. Thanks, guys, for watching. I appreciate it. Peace.